markets can remain irrational for longer than you can remain liquid.
No.
IPOs like Deva, Salik, what she rightly said, ये stocks ऐसे हैं, these are as good as government bonds.
2007-2008 was liquidity नहीं हो गया था because of the Lehman crisis. Investors were flipping speculatively. This time that is not. The liquidity है, global as well as UAE.
is booming like crazy. अब इंडिया में अगर आप घर लेने जाओगे फॉर एग्जांपल मुंबई या किधर भी, it will cost you crazy, and in the same price if you buy a house over here, you'll probably end up getting a villa.
Even if AI is a bubble, you can make a lot of money in a
भी
bubble.
आप UAE banking stocks ले लीजिए. So मतलब if the economy is growing, banks of that economy have to grow.
It's just from an investor mindset हमको ये समझना पड़ेगा कि हर IPO को हमें सब्सक्राइब नहीं करना.
So it's still not there, but if you are one of those high risk takers and you want to be a part of that game, then Saudi market is for you. But right now I still feel
जब भी हम इन्वेस्टमेंट्स की बात करते हैं तो जनरली हमारे माइंड में इंडिया मार्केट आता है, पर एनआरआईज और ओसीआईज जो देश के बाहर रहते हैं उनके पास इंडिया को छोड़ के भी बहुत सारे विकल्प हैं, चाहे वो यूएस मार्केट्स हैं, यूरोपियन मार्केट्स हैं, मिडिल ईस्टर्न मार्केट्स हैं, चाइना है, गोल्ड, सिल्वर, बहुत सारे ऐसे विकल्प हैं जो शायद इंडिया में बैठे बैठे आप नहीं कर सकते, पर एनआरआई और ओसीआई होने के बाद आपको ये फायदा मिल जाता है। पर आपको इनके बारे में नॉलेज नहीं होती, इन्वेस्ट कैसे करना है, किस चीज में करना है, कौन सी कंट्री इस टाइम पे अच्छी चल रही है, कहां पे मार्केट्स डेवलप हो रही हैं, डेवलप्ड हैं, कौन सा इंस्ट्रूमेंट यूज करना है, कौन सा ईटीएफ यूज करना है, पोर्टफोलियो को कैसे कंस्ट्रक्ट करना है, क्योंकि ये सारी चीजें बहुत ओवरवेलमिंग हो सकती है। क्या अमेरिका में पैसा डालूं कि यूरोप में डालूं, जर्मनी की डिफेंस की कंपनीज में डालूं कि फ्रेंच की लग्जरी कंपनीज में डालूं, कहां कहां पैसा डाल के आप आगे पैसा बना सकते हैं, कौन से ट्रेंड को फॉलो करना है, ये सारी चीजें आज के पॉडकास्ट पे मैंने डिस्कस करी हैं सेंचुरी फाइनेंशियल्स की टीम के साथ। सेंचुरी फाइनेंशियल्स यूए की वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज कंपनी है जो कंप्लीट डिटेल्ड रिसर्च करती है कि इंटरनेशनल मार्केट्स में क्या चल रहा है, कमोडिटी साइकिल कैसी चल रही है, कौन सी मार्केट में क्या मेजर इवेंट्स हो रहे हैं। और उन्हीं की टीम में से आज मैं लेके आया हूं योगेश, दीपा और भाविक। ये टीम जो है वो रिसर्च को हेड करती है और सारी रिपोर्ट्स को कंपाइल करती है कि ग्लोबली चल क्या रहा है, और इसी टीम के साथ आज का डिटेल डिस्कशन होने वाला है। तो आज की जो क्लास है ना वो एक मास्टर क्लास है इंटरनेशनल इन्वेस्टिंग पे। पूरे यूट्यूब पे प्रॉमिस कर रहा हूं इस तरह की डिटेल्ड हाई क्वालिटी डिस्कशन आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगा। तो अगर आप एनआरआई ओसीआई हैं और अगर आप इंडियन भी हैं जो आगे जाके इस तरीके के मार्केट्स में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहते हैं तो इस एपिसोड को एंड तक जरूर देखिएगा। और हाँ, अभी तक आप में से सिर्फ 25% लोगों ने इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब किया है, तो फटाफट सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए, घंटी दबा दीजिए, ताकि ऐसी अमेजिंग वीडियोस, ऐसी अमेजिंग नॉलेज बॉम्ब्स आपसे मिस ना हो। और हाँ, आज के एपिसोड में एक और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बोनस आपको मिलने वाला है। ये सारे एपिसोड में जो भी ईटीएफ्स के बारे में डिस्कशन होगा, जो भी प्रोडक्ट्स के बारे में डिस्कशन होगा, उसकी एक पीडीएफ कॉपी आपको फ्री में मिलेगी। करना क्या है, डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिंक दिया होगा, उसको जाके क्लिक करिएगा और वो पीडीएफ को डाउनलोड कर लीजिए। टोटली फ्री रिसोर्स है, एक भी रुपया नहीं देना। और आइए मिलते हैं योगेश, दीपा और भाविक से, जिनको ब्लूमबर्ग, सीएनबीसी पे भी फीचर किया गया है और लोग इनकी रिसर्च रिपोर्ट्स को पढ़ते हैं। योगेश, दीपा, भाविक, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग ऑन संजय कथुरिया पॉडकास्ट। और आज का जो एपिसोड है वो मेरा गोल बहुत क्लियर है कि एनीवन हु इज आउटसाइड इंडिया एंड दे वांट टू इन्वेस्ट इन ग्लोबल मार्केट्स, वांट टू डाइवर्सिफाई, तो वो कैसे कर सकता है, क्या कर सकता है, क्या प्रोडक्ट ऑप्शंस हैं, हाउ डू यू सी द मार्केट्स। आप लोग लीडर्स हैं इन सब चीज़ों में, यू आर ट्रैकिंग ग्लोबल मार्केट्स, यू आर डूइंग रिसर्च, हेडिंग रिसर्च, तो इसके बारे में बात करेंगे। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद वेयर वी आर सिटिंग, दुबई। तो व्हाट इज योर व्यू ऑन द दुबई मार्केट एंड इज दुबई मार्केट लिक्विड इनफ, क्योंकि जनरली लोगों का व्यू ये रहता है कि दुबई मार्केट्स में भी लिक्विडिटी नहीं है, रिस्क ज़्यादा है, तो व्हाट इज योर व्यू अबाउट इट, भाविक?
So to start with, if हम specifically अगर दुबई markets की बात करें, तो at this point of time this year we have seen record rise in number of new retail accounts जो DFM exchange पे open हुआ है.
Okay.
So we're talking about the Dubai Financial Market Exchange. Now the biggest plus point, biggest advantage.
How many
is,
accounts have been opened?
So it's around 60 to 70,000 retail investors new.
Okay.
And that's translated to something मतलब कुछ around 50 से 60% का growth rate है year on year. मज़े की बात यह है कि जो कंपनीज लिस्टेड है, मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द नेम्स हैव कम फ्रॉम स्टेट सॉवरेन सपोर्ट्स लाइक देवा हो गया, सालिक हो गया. नाउ ऑल दीज कंपनीज आर लाइक हाई डिविडेंड यील्डिंग इन द रेंज ऑफ 5% to 7% के बीच में. दे आर गिविंग अ गुड सॉलिड डिविडेंड यील्ड्स. सो फॉर अ यूएई इन्वेस्टर, नॉट जस्ट एन एक्सपेट बट इवन अ लोकल गाय, आपका बैंक का एफडी में लेट्स से आपको मिल रहा है 3.75 से लेके 4.5 रेंज था. This is a big differentiating factor as far as investing in this high yielding dividend names is concerned. The other advantage is business model. We all हम सब ये stories hear कर रहे हैं, right? rise in population, expat residency, people flocking from India, Pakistan. अभी ट्रेंड ये हुआ है कि इवन पीपल फ्रॉम वेस्टर्न यूरोप, ईस्टर्न यूरोप, यूके, record number of migrants are coming over here.
Okay.
Proper businesses, good high paying salary jobs as opposed to the, I would say, the previous jobs of blue collars, or you could talk about the the lower category ones, low income ones. So that itself is adding a big dimension to the UAE Dubai economy. रियल एस्टेट की बात करें, बहुत ज़्यादा डिबेट है कि प्रॉपर्टी मार्केट क्रैश आने वाला है, क्राइसिस होने वाला है. साइकिल इज डिफरेंट. 2007-2008 वाज लिक्विडिटी नहीं हो गया था बिकॉज ऑफ द लेमन क्राइसिस. इन्वेस्टर्स वर फ्लिपिंग स्पेकुलेटिवली. दिस टाइम दैट इज नॉट. द लिक्विडिटी है ग्लोबल एज वेल एज यूएई. प्लस जो एक्चुअल इन्वेस्टमेंट्स है 50% इज हैपनिंग इन द एंड एक्चुअल यूसेज, दैट पीपल वांट टू स्टे ओवर देयर, नॉट जस्ट फ्लिप. सो आई वुड से रियल एस्टेट एंड इक्विटीज solid game.
So ये जो आपने 5 to 7% बताया, तो ये 5 to 7% is dividend income from stocks. तो यानी कि ये एक तरीके से शरिया compliant भी हो गया, because I think
Yes.
people here are very careful about
Yes, definitely.
शरिया compliance. So अगर मैं कहूँ कि आज UAE की मार्केट में कितना % रिटेल पार्टिसिपेशन है और कितना इंस्टीट्यूशनल पार्टिसिपेशन है, और क्या UAE मार्केट्स इंटरनेशनल लोगों के लिए ओपन है? मतलब कैन somebody sitting in US, let's say somebody is in US or UK, और वो लोग इंडिया इसमें दुबई में डाल सकते हैं पैसा?
So it's open for across the globe. The only thing is they are still opening up the laws जहाँ पे non-Gulf people or non-residents, they can come and directly invest with DFM exchange and all that. Currently you have this ETFs with JPM and all that. So there's an ETF, if I'm mistaken, UAE ETF, which invests in all the UAE stocks.
Okay.
But it's managed by a fund like JPM. जहाँ पे वो लोग actually invest in these stocks.
तो JP Morgan Chase का ETF है,
हाँ,
जो
I don't
UAE
remember
में,
the exact name, but I think some big Wall Street bank
okay,
that's actively managing this ETF. So a guy who doesn't want to invest over here directly, or due to some reasons जो invest नहीं कर पा रहा है, he might as well have a US markets account, and he can invest in the UAE markets through this particular thing.
The idea is actually जो काफी सारे लोग यहाँ पे already reside कर रहे हैं, like he mentioned names like Deva or Salik. These are companies that we as UAE residents are on a yearly basis, monthly basis paying. Like Deva is an electricity company over here.
Okay.
So we are using that electricity. We know we have to pay those bills every month.
तो उनका recurring business, strong business model
It's
है.
a very strong business model. Salik, आप roads पे you cannot travel in UAE from one place to another place without paying that Salik toll. तो वो companies, ये ऐसी companies है जहाँ पे हम खुद यूज कर रहे हैं, हम खुद every year उधर पे कर रहे हैं, तो might as well make some use of it and invest in that company and make some money also out of it. So that is, and it's like a no-brainer business. I mean, the more the population in UAE,
तो ये बढ़ेगा ही बढ़ेगा.
ये बढ़ेगा ही. And this is a government controlled business, right? There's full-on monopoly. So there's no way that there's any competition or anything coming into place wherein prices are going to fall, or the Salik fares are not going to fall. They're probably going to go up from here. तो यहाँ पे भी मतलब it's a business model जहाँ पे
So cash flow भी है, growth भी है,
सब कुछ है.
productivity भी है.
तो and जैसे भावे कह रहा था, रियल एस्टेट मार्केट इज ऑल्सो बूमिंग. अगर किसको डायरेक्टली अभी तक नहीं मिल रहा है अपॉर्चुनिटी टू पार्टिसिपेट इन दी स्टॉक्स, तो आप इनडायरेक्टली रियल एस्टेट मार्केट इज बूमिंग लाइक क्रेजी. आप इंडिया में अगर आप घर लेने जाओगे, फॉर एग्जांपल मुंबई या किधर भी, दैट विल कॉस्ट यू crazy, and in the same price if you buy a house over here you'll probably end up getting a villa. So
आपके rental yields थोड़े
बहुत
better
better
हैं.
वो भी एक है, उसका भी
तो
rental
that
yield
is the
आपको
reason.
8% रेंज में आ रहा है, इंडिया में 3%.
इंडिया में कम है,
बहुत कम
2-3%
है,
के
बहुत
बीच में.
कम है. तो इसीलिए काफी सारे लोग अभी इंडिया में इन्वेस्ट करने के बदले में सोच रहे हैं कि आप दुबई में ही प्रॉपर्टी ले लो.
और उन लोगों को ईडी के नोटिस आने लग गए हैं. सो ओके, कमिंग नेक्स्ट इज यूएई मार्केट पे थोड़ा लेता हूं. एंड योगेश, यूएई मार्केट्स ने अभी रिसेंटली कुछ आईपीओस भी देखे हैं, जिसमें प्राइवेट कंपनी तलाबात ने भी आईपीओ किया था. तो व्हाट हैज बीन द रिस्पांस टू दीस काइंड ऑफ आईपीओस जो आ रहे हैं, एंड डू यू सी लाइक इन 2026 there will be more streak of IPOs coming up on this
So
exchange?
one thing which they absolutely said, right, UAE is very much open to the foreign investors. Earlier this was not the case. अगर I think 4-5 years ago, 5-6 years ago, हम लोग UAE को देखते थे as a underdeveloped market. लेकिन what has happened in last few years, IPOs like Deva, Salik, what she rightly said, ये stocks ऐसे हैं, these are as good as government bonds. इनकी dividend yield बहुत अच्छी है, and the financials are solid, and again these are backed by government, so these are very strong companies. More IPOs coming in, of course. So UAE is actually poised for a lot of IPOs coming until 2030.
Okay.
There's a big lineup. The only hitch is the valuation of the IPOs. अब कितनी बार होता है, we have seen examples like Dubizzle, we've seen examples like Talabat. I think for every investor it is more important to understand.
क्या हुआ था? Sorry, I'm a bit unaware of this. So क्या issues हुए थे?
I think broadly to put it into a picture,
Overvalued.
Overvalued. Like if we cannot go much in detail, but the idea is that they were overvalued. From an investor mindset, the economy is very strong. They're coming up with IPOs. They are opening up to the world. So there have been a significant increase in the roadshow from the UAE companies to outside, to US and to other parts of the world, and that has only increased, which means they are very much happy and they are welcoming the new investors to come in. And with tech and AI coming in, UAE is very open now for AIs. We are talking about flying taxis. We are talking about automobile automation, and we are seeing a perfect growth from tech onwards. Whether it is about cryptocurrencies, there are summits happening. They are open to the idea of blockchain. Even a lot of financial institutions, they are very open to blockchain. So UAE is going to be the tech hub in the next 5 years, and a lot of these IPOs may be very much tech driven.
Okay.
That's why it's just from an investor mindset, हमको ये समझना पड़ेगा कि हर IPO को हमें सब्सक्राइब नहीं करना है.
जैसे इंडिया में है, मतलब across board
So,
जैसे
इसमें और एक sorry to cut you. Just to add up to what he said, अभी हो क्या रहा है? मैं एक एक्सपर्ट हूँ फ्रॉम इंडिया. मुझे इन्वेस्ट करना है. आई वुडंट बी गोइंग विद अ नेम लाइक तालाबात है या स्पेनीज है. आई वुड वांट अ स्टेट ओन मोनोपोली जिसके अंदर मेरा पैसा लगा है.
ओके.
क्योंकि जैसे कि इन्होंने बोला, एक गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड जैसा हो गया, 5% 7% रेंज में मुझे दे रहा है. आई नो फॉर श्योर कि देवो कंपटीशन नहीं रहने वाला है, सालिक को रहने नहीं वाला है. इफ ओनली सालिक के टोल गेट्स बढ़ेंगे एज द पॉपुलेशन इंक्रीजेस, it's but natural कि उनको dynamic pricing करके they have to increase the number of toll gates and all that. Again, we are talking about more EBITDA margins, more cash flow, more dividends for me.
तो अभी तक आपसे जो मुझे बात करके समझ आया कि यूएई स्टॉक मार्केट को एक डिविडेंड प्ले की तरह लेना ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा एज कंपेयर्ड टू अ ग्रोथ प्ले, बिकॉज़ राइट नाउ मे बी देयर आर वॉल्यूम इश्यूज और देयर आर IPOs are getting mispriced and till now maybe there is no
And if you
the
see
growth
numbers,
is also coming into play. Abhi
Okay.
growth aspect is also, I'm sorry if I cut you, but growth aspect is also, जैसे अगर आपको किसी को dividend and growth दोनों capture करना है, a safe bet would be आप UAE banking stocks ले लीजिए. So मतलब if the economy is growing, banks of that economy have to grow. Without that it's not possible, and banks are also giving you very good yields. So आप बैंकिंग स्टॉक्स ले लीजिए यूएई के, तो वहाँ पे आपको बहुत अच्छा ग्रोथ भी मिल जाएगा, प्लस यू विल गेट अमेजिंग रिटर्न, आई मीन यील्ड्स आल्सो. If not, I mean, another way you can capture is like tourism stocks over here. Dubai is known for tourism. Now, Air Arabia, for example, we've been seeing this stock and we've been tracking it. It was hardly at 2 dirhams. Now it's at almost 4 dirhams.
Okay, 2 times.
In a matter of just 1.5 years, it's like 100% returns.
And plus it gives dividends.
In fact, when we started tracking this at that point in time, the dividends were almost 11%. So it was like because tourism.
मतलब किसी और के परचेज प्राइस पे तो 22% टाइप
हो गया.
प्राइसेस तो भी डेढ़ dirham था. अभी बिकॉज़ द प्राइस हैव इंक्रीज्ड तो
तो डिविडेंड यील्ड कम हो गया है.
थोड़ा कम हो गया होगा, राइट?
कम हो गया वो हिसाब से.
तो
ग्रोथ एस्पेक्ट एज शी इज राइट.
इनफैक्ट यूएई का एक प्लस पॉइंट ये भी है कि काफी सारे स्टॉक्स में आपको सीजनैलिटी भी बहुत दिख जाएगी. जैसे एयर अरेबिया का ही एग्जांपल आप ले लीजिए, तो वहाँ पे इन द मंथ ऑफ जुलाई अगस्त फॉर एग्जांपल यू विल सी देयर आर हॉलिडेज ओवर हियर, एवरीबॉडी इज ट्रैवलिंग, दैट इज द टाइम व्हेन द स्टॉक आल्सो गोस अप लाइक क्रेजी.
पर उस हिसाब से तो दिसंबर भी है, बिकॉज़ लोग फिर यहाँ आ रहे होते हैं.
यही
तो
एमआर जो है,
देयर आर सर्टेन मंथ्स जहाँ पे आप हम एक्चुअली ट्रैक कर सकते हैं कि ये स्टॉक्स ये मंथ में बेटर परफॉर्म करेंगे.
एमआर रियलिटी है, राइट? सो वी हैव एमआर प्रॉपर्टीज, एमआर डेवलपमेंट लिस्टेड है. प्रॉपर्टीज इज द मेन होल्डिंग कंपनी जिसके अंदर डेवलपमेंट प्लस तुम्हारा मॉल का रेवेन्यूज भी आता है. नवंबर दिसंबर लास्ट 9 to 10 years पैटर्न है कि ये स्टॉक हमेशा ऊपर है.
ऊपर ही गया.
प्रॉपर्टीज बिकॉज़ फुटफॉल्स बढ़ रहे हैं, योर रिकरिंग रेंट रेवेन्यूज
increasing, revenue share is increasing of the mall.
people spending on mall. So जैसे कि इन्होंने बोला सीजनैलिटी के बारे में, so we have that growth opportunities as well.
Interesting.
And I think in 2022, we saw that while because of higher inflation, US markets, other markets underperformed. UAE markets and Gulf markets, they went up.
Okay.
So it came across a very good hedge during that time because पूरा global market जो है वो गिर रहा है. And we saw UAE markets actually doing really well.
Very nice.
And that continued for the next 2 years.
Very nice.
So what they're actually saying from the growth perspective, even from a fixed income perspective, it is coming across very
तीन
strong.
चीजें हो गई आपकी, ग्रोथ हो गया, हेज हो गया, फिक्स्ड इनकम हो गया, तो तीनों आपको
तीनों
यहाँ पे पर्पस मिल जाता है. तो a part of your portfolio can be placed
In
here,
definitely.
and especially for Indians or expats who are here right now, वो ये कर सकते. कैसे करेंगे, मतलब what are the ways to invest in UAE markets? Are there brokers? Like does Century do it, or there are other ways to do it?
So we are in the process, I would say, कि जहाँ पे हम we are looking at exploring more on
Sure.
this front also. But what investor can do is they can approach any of the local brokers है. काफी सारे अभी तो banks भी provide कर रहा है securities products, Emirates, NBD, Mashreq.
Sure.
So they just have to open a DFM investor account. So this is assuming कि आप यहाँ पे resident expat हो
Okay.
or you're some Gulf resident.
So
So
मतलब GCC के अगर आप
GCC के हो. So if you have the residency visa, I think मेरा account had opened in like 24 hours.
हाँ, बहुत
So an Indian living in Qatar can
Yeah.
open an account
Yes.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yes.
पूरा streamlined है. Your IBAN, it just आपको सिर्फ IBAN डालना है. 24 hours में everything is settled.
Beautiful. जब हमने UAE की बात की तो आपका अब एक भाई बड़ा हो रहा है, वो है सऊदी अरेबिया. So there's been a lot of news around Saudi Arabia, the growth, the chase, the fact that Saudi Arabia will be getting the biggest tower, and you know KSA will be the next big thing. So the leader now has better vision. He's young. He wants to develop the country that way. So KSA की जो मार्केट है तदावुल, अगर अब किसी को तदावुल में देखना है तो जिस तरीके से आपने UAE के बारे में बताया, तो what are the key benefits or risks of investing in tadawul, you know, for an NRI or somebody living here?
So Saudi market specifically अगर बात करें, of course diversification हो चुका है इकोनॉमी का. You have around 50% of the GDP that is coming from non-oil.
Oh, already?
Yes.
Wow, that's good.
Okay. But जो sentiment है, that is Saudi Aramco, that is oil prices.
Okay.
So that is still the driving factor, I would say. And जैसे कि हमने अभी दुबई की बात की, we are talking about state-owned utilities, right? देवा है, सालिक है. With Saudi markets, what has happened is individual private families, family offices, जिन्होंने अपने छोटे-छोटे small scale SMEs है, list करवाया है. Those are purely industrials.
Okay.
Now, when you talk about industrials, it is tied to your overall economic cycle. Unlike utilities, which
देना ही है भाई, मतलब कुछ भी हो देना ही है.
जो defensive play होता है utilities में, you wouldn't necessarily get that same play from an industrial company or from an oil company.
तो कोई भी state owned listed नहीं है आप कह रहे हो वहाँ पे?
There are.
Okay.
They have done. There's some tech companies also that have given some amazing returns. But the concentration of companies अगर आप देखोगे, that is more with this. Aramco has, I think, what 35-40% of the float of the entire Tadawul.
वो actually काफी हद तक oil prices
Oil prices
will
नहीं
drive
निर्भर है.
the market.
So it's like a pseudo oil price. play.
Yeah.
Then you have industrials. And the big thing that I forgot, financials. Al-Rajhi Bank और वो सब है. तो हुआ क्या है कि oil prices were high. Last 3 years से oil prices high है, तो अभी खैर ये 1-1.5 साल का correction जो हमें दिख रहा है. तो काफी सारी बैंक रेट lending हुई थी. They were superiors in terms of lending and everything. All the local banks in UAE wanted to open, still want to open a what do you say, rent office subsidiary over there. Because उनका consumption population बहुत ज़्यादा है. With UAE you're talking about 10 million. With Saudi I think 37-40 million के आसपास.
तो 4 times है.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think roughly उतना है. So the consumption population इतना है, you cannot ignore that economy. And the stock market.
So effectively it's as big as maybe Australia in terms of population.
Yes, might.
बेसिकली जहाँ तक आई कैन सी, मेरा जो जजमेंट है, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल जिसने यूएई में कुछ साल पहले इन्वेस्ट किया होगा, उसके लिए इट वाज लाइक एट दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम दिस वाज लाइक अ रिस्क टेकिंग मार्केट. सऊदी इज नाउ दैट मार्केट. या so it's still not there, but if you are one of those high risk takers and you want to be a part of that, I mean, game, then Saudi market is for you. But right now I still feel there is still maybe some more time because tourism is more booming still over here. Saudi is going on the lines, तो अभी तक it's still
उसको
not,
दिखा नहीं है.
हाँ, अब तक वो juncture पे पहुंचा नहीं है, but it is moving ahead on those lines itself. So it might be a little early to
What is the biggest fear on the Saudi market? Is it volumes? कि वॉल्यूम्स नहीं है या इज इट कि
I think
मतलब
the
फ्लोट इज टोटली
I think the
concentrated?
concentration
Yeah,
risk
yeah,
is higher.
that is higher.
I think at one point of time, Saudi, they've already started opening up to newer avenues of revenue. However, it has always been one of those countries that we know that they have oil wells, they export oil, and that is how they make revenue. But if you see in last few years, they have very much opened up. They have removed their conventional thinking. They have adapted the new ways. They have developed cities which are welcoming investors. In fact, now, if you want to go and actually conduct any kind of business operations, they tell you that you first have to get license. You come to Saudi. And they are very welcoming that way because they have a vision of 2030 that we want Saudi to be a business-oriented country. We want expats to come, we want foreigners to come, and we want to be very open to them. So definitely, I think what they suggested is one very important thing for an investor, that there's a lot of concentration risk. As an investment opportunity, हो सकता है कि if this becomes bigger and better as they want to, maybe a smaller part of your portfolio through
Yes.
ETFs can be invested.
Yeah.
कहाँ से ETFs कहीं पे हैं ETFs अभी?
I think
Again, the same stuff. So we're talking about, again, I forgot the name of the Wall Street Bank. Saudi market cap free float base, it adjusts its weight, and you get exposure to the Tadawur also index.
And there are
So entry
things like emerging market volatility funds,
Yeah.
which gives you exposure to UAE, Qatar, Saudi, and a lot of these Gulf nations. And that's the best way to actually invest. Because when you're looking at Gulf as a whole nation,
Yeah.
there's still a lot of geopolitical risk which an investor face. जो आदमी इंडिया में बैठा है वो तो थोड़ा और डरता है.
वो बहुत डरता है.
उनको भी इतनी क्लैरिटी नहीं है जो the facts
Yeah.
what he's talking about. वो ये देखते हैं कि अरे ये मिडिल ईस्ट है. वो ये नहीं देखते कि अपॉर्चुनिटीज या ग्रोथ कैसे है.
True.
उनके लिए
Because वो
ETFs
अगर आए नहीं है यहाँ पे
See,
इसका
when
not
we are
familiar
here, we can see, for example, Deva is really, you know, doing very well. Sarik is doing really well. Someone sitting
हाँ
outside.
मतलब अभी तक जब तक मैं आपसे बात कर रहा था मुझे देवा का पता ही नहीं.
पता ही नहीं था,
But I didn't know what Deva was.
हाँ.
But then you told me it's a utility
Yeah.
company.
So when we are here, we can. I think that's a very valid point. Someone
Sure.
sitting in India will not be able to get that much confidence. But
So for them
someone,
ETFs are best.
Yeah,
Like
that's why
ETFs,
ETFs
अच्छा.
are a very.
And
So what
again,
will-
the risk factor, just sorry to
Sure.
cut you. The risk factor है again, that will be oil only. मेरे हिसाब से
Majorly
उसमें
oil.
ज़्यादा रहेगा.
Yeah, yeah.
क्योंकि अभी जैसे कि आप एग्जांपल देखोगे, देवर न्यूज़ की वो लोग ने स्केल डाउन किया है. They're very ambitious projects. They've not cut down. entirely.
नियम का कुछ
Yeah.
उन्होंने लेंथ कम किया है
They
ऐसा
have,
कुछ हुआ
they,
recently.
they have cut down. They have to cut down because ultimately सी बात आती है sovereign rating की. You don't want to sit in a junk REIT at this
Sure.
point of time when you're diversifying away.
तो हम एक और काम करेंगे. If our team can compile all the ETFs which we are telling
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
and we can give it as a kind of PDF document. तो
Yeah,
हम
we can do
description
that.
में उसका link लगा देंगे.
Definitely.
So that all of what we are speaking, they can have a very easy access.
Yeah,
With links, with the possible ways of
Done.
investing there also. Okay, coming now to Saudi Arabia हो गया, UAE हो गया. अब हम आते हैं रिच चाचा जी पे. देखो रिच डैड तो बोल नहीं सकते, और सबके डैड तो हो नहीं सकते. ठीक है, मैं टॉकिंग अबाउट I'm talking about Robert Kiyosaki. So रिच चाचा जी ने सबको बोला कि I think 600th time in the last 10 years he has predicted another crash. Sorry,
Yeah.
वापस बोलने दे. So 600th time in the last 10 years he has predicted कि crash आने वाला है बहुत बड़ा. तो आप लोग का क्या व्यू है? Because if you look at 2-3 things which have happened is Nasdaq, अगर अब हम US की बात करते हैं, Nasdaq हम देख रहे हैं कि दो कंपनीज पैलेंटीर और Nvidia ने बहुत मैसिव रैली की है. 35% of S&P's return is driven by the tech stocks only. Inside Nasdaq also there are these 8-10 stocks which are driving the rally, and everybody is fearing. अब ये देखा जा रहा है कि AMD Nvidia से डील कर रहे हैं. Nvidia तो वो passing the parcel, booking fake revenues, बहुत सारी theories आ रही हैं. But nobody can deny that Nasdaq 100 has done very well over the last 1 to 2 years. और लोगों के लिए एक अच्छा diversification tool बना है. तो standing today, let's say 2026, how do you see US playing out as a market for international diversification purpose?
So see, firstly, if I have to just answer, I mean, I'll just divert from what you said right now. Why is it necessary for an Indian sitting in India or an NRI to invest in US just to understand the numbers? So let's say
We are also talking about people who are like NRIs and they have the access to invest anywhere in the world.
Right.
So हम US market को discuss कर रहे हैं
हाँ.
कि कैसे US market
So for example, मैं ना 2000 I'm a number person, so I track
very
numbers.
easy to talk.
So तो अगर आप सिर्फ कंपैरिजन के लिए अगर चेक करेंगे, से अगर एक इन्वेस्टर ने 10 साल पहले निफ्टी में पैसे डाले होते हैं तो 1 लाख डाला होता है, वो आज की तारीख में लगभग 4 लाख के आसपास हो गया होता. अगर वही इन्वेस्टर ने ये 1 लाख से SPX में डाला होता, so that same money would have been almost 8 lakhs.
Okay.
Double. And it's not because SPX gave much better returns than Nifty. They were more or less at par. Both gave same returns. But where the
Dollar.
magic happened? Dollar. Dollar depreciated in 2008 or 2010, for example. Dollar was at like 45. Today we are at 88. That's where you've lost your 100% gains to udhar hi aa gaye. And same, if this investor would have invested in Nasdaq, the returns would have been almost this 1 lakh would have been like 25 lakhs. So the difference is huge. And now today when you're asking me कि US markets में correction आ सकता है कि नहीं, of course always there is always a risk of correction. हम start of the year से for example 2 साल से हम बोल रहे हैं कि correction आने वाला है, correction आ नहीं रहा है. I mean we're not saying आने वाला है, but all of us have been on that risk that there can be a correction because valuations are very high. But what we are failing to understand that AI is the new theme and is the new thing, and it is proving many things that it's different from the dot-com bubble. That time, things were just on paper. This is not, things are not just on paper. So I'm not saying that don't be scared of the markets. It's just going to rally. Valuations are high at the moment, but
अभी माइकल बरी ने भी $1 billion का शॉट लिया है.
Yeah.
If you see Warren Buffett has
valuations are very
$350
high.
billion in cash.
But what we've seen in the last few years is that don't challenge the momentum. Like trend should be your best friend.
Markets can remain irrational for longer than you can remain liquid.
Yes.
And ये जो कहीं ना कहीं क्या होता है, ये जो डिस्कशन है ना AI का, .com बबल की बात की, राइट? सिमिलर थिंग वो टाइम पे इंटरनेट का बहुत बड़ा क्रेज बन गया था, राइट? पीपल कुड चैट, मैसेंजर्स, वो टाइम पे तो फेसबुक वगैरह भी नहीं था, राइट? सिमिलरली AI का वो हम सिमिलर वेव पे सेट है. एंड ऑन द हाइंडसाइड इफ यू से वो टाइम पे क्रेज था, certain things didn't work out. This time, why it could be different? Because you actually have companies that have built on cash flows. Nvidia 2 साल पहले $5 billion cash flow था. Currently it is $75 billion.
Wow.
Cash flow. Wow. अगर कोई कंपनी के पास इतना अगर कैश फ्लो का ग्रोथ हो रहा है, that means
It has to transfer into the valuation.
चीजें सही जा रही है. I mean, again, valuation, it is expensive, no doubt. अगर 5-year, 10-year PE ratio वगैरह all some metrics दिखता है, it is expensive. But investing का जो अगर पूरा फंडा ही जो है, वॉरेन बुफे है या कोई भी आपको बताता है, 10-20%, 30% drop would be a normal thing. Correction में you cannot have a perpetuity जहाँ पे सिर्फ parabolic moves हो. You will have a time जहाँ पे markets could stay lower for longer duration. That is where you need to capitalize. चाहे वो SIP हो, lump sum investment हो, that is where you need to stick with good, solid, mature growth companies.
So if I am an investor starting in 2026 and I want to invest in US, मुझे क्या करना चाहिए?
See, in a positive bull cycle also, 10-15% correction is very
normal.
It's very common. Of course, there are news coming in for, and tech has always been under scrutiny, but what Bhavik rightly pointed out, the valuation and the actual earnings. So it is expected, even in 2026, by the way, a lot of companies, including JP Morgan and UBS, and everybody has a very higher target for S&P and Nasdaq.
Oh,
because yes, because this time the companies, they are not just higher because of the valuations. That is just one factor. They're actually showing corporate profits. It is expected that these corporate profits This is expected that corporate profits are expected to increase. As far as AI is concerned, as a theme or as a tech has been talked about for years and years. पहले भी बात होती थी रोबोट्स की, तो हम लोग टर्मिनेटर समझ के हम लोग जो एक्साइट हो जाया करते थे. But what happened in pandemic, it actually progressed the tech adaptation very quickly. मैं अगर अपने फादर को पहले बोलता Zoom पे बात करनी है, वो बोलते हटाओ नॉर्मल फोन पे बात करो. But now he knows how Zoom works, right? Because they've adapted to it. So this time it's very different. Even if AI is a bubble, you can make a lot of money in a bubble. ये कोई ऐसा नहीं है कि टेक है तो बबल ही होगा. People are always going to say this thing, but the point is you have to understand, you have to do your research that अगर एक कंपनी ऊपर जा रही है and valuations are also higher, even if there is a chance to come down by 10-15%, is it a good discount to enter in? Now moving forward 2026, a person who has never invested in US market, अगर उसको start भी करना है, and if they're scared of picking one stock, which happens a lot of times, there is a whole index ETF. It is created by Vanguard. We call it VOO or Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. Tracks the performance of S&P 500 as a global index.
ठीक है.
Even now also I can understand, and I'm sure Bhavik and Deepa would also see this. S&P 500 पे up the higher number of percentage growth comes from the tech companies. So हमें क्या ट्रिपल क्यू जो NASDAQ को ट्रैक करता है उसमें अलग से करें, S&P 500 में अलग से करें, is it too much tech exposure is one question. So from a US perspective, stick with the large caps, the quality companies. And of course, in a lower interest rate environment, small caps get a lot of boost. Sometimes investors who have never been in US market, they don't know much about small cap, but in a lower interest rate environment, small caps flourish. That's why when Donald Trump became the president, we saw throughout those days, small cap went up more than 5 to 10%. I think a mixed exposure between the ETFs which are tracking the large caps versus the small caps as well. There has to be a mixed exposure as far as US markets are concerned, of course.
Okay, आप क्या कहोगे?
जैसे कि मैंने बोला, इट्स अ नॉर्मल साइकिल एवोल्यूशन जो हो रहा है. कहीं ना कहीं यू विल सी कि एनवीडिया ने इस पे डाला है, उन्होंने वापस इनमें इन्वेस्ट किया है. यू गोना सी दैट साइकिल. सी आई मीन अल्टीमेटली कॉर्पोरेट्स है, इट्स बाउंड टू हैपन. थोड़ा बहुत तो वो रहने ही वाला है. मेन चीज है, जैसे कि दीपा ने बोला, मोमेंटम. Momentum is with tech, momentum is with AI. And if you think that it's very difficult to make money betting against the momentum, betting against the wave. So going forward 2026, you could see a cycle जहाँ पे again after Q1 earnings, Q2 earnings, or maybe if Fed doesn't cut the interest rates, you could see some pullback for the markets. But watch out for which level you will miss if you don't enter the market.
So basically आप कह रहे हो कि लमसम ना करके SIP start कर दीजिए.
What we do at Century a lot is a ladder approach.
Okay.
So what we do is that, say if you have 100,000 to invest and you don't want to go all into the markets at this point in time because valuations are very high, you start with say 25,000 or 50,000, how much ever you want to start with. And then if there's a correction, you put in that remaining 25. And if you think, or if you feel that, okay, that's it, if the correction has been huge, sometimes the markets these days are so fast that, they'll just fall 10% in one day, next day again they'll recover. So if you feel that correction is huge, then you put in that remaining 25-50,000. Or if you feel there's only 3-4% correction, there may be more correction, then you go for a ladder approach. So what happens, this gives that investor that comfort that, okay, if markets have rallied another 10% from here, I have not missed out on anything. You get that satisfaction that I have participated in the rally. And then, of course, if it comes down, you have more cash to invest at that point in time. So like Yogesh was saying, I think ETFs are a best way to gain exposure to the markets currently. You have a SPY also, which is a representative of SPX 500. NASDAQ के लिए you have QQQ.
Large cap के लिए और small caps के लिए क्या है?
Small caps, the Russell 2000. In fact, that is
RTY.
Yeah, RTY. So that is also an index. That is also one thing that can do really well because we are in a Trump presidency at the moment, and Trump is someone who's always pro-America. So he supports domestic companies a lot. So small cap stocks at this point in time can get.
तो अगर मेरा एक let's say 10-year approach है, and if I am an NRI or sitting outside and I have the access to invest, तो अगर मुझे एक portfolio बनाना है, तो कितना portion मैं NASDAQ में डालूं, कितना स्मॉल कैप में डालूं, क्या मेरा मिक्स होना चाहिए आइडियली इफ आई वांट टू बिल्ड अ पोर्टफोलियो फॉर द नेक्स्ट 10 years. Let's say I want to do an SIP of $1,000 a month.
I think from a risk perspective, मुझे लगता है कि I'm sure हम तीनों के आंसर्स एकदम अलग होंगे because
love to hear everyone.
This is a composition matter.
Sure.
So if somebody who is very aggressive would always be inclined more towards stocks, within stocks they will be more inclined towards tech companies. अब इसमें भी हो सकता है कि a lot of people are more inclined towards small caps because the growth anticipation is higher, लेकिन risk भी ज़्यादा है. On a normal basis मुझे लगता है the traditional 60-40 works well in this kind of environment. The composition can always change, 60% towards stocks, 40% towards bonds, but because right now the Fed has shown some sort of hesitation towards cutting interest rates in December. Earlier this was a news which was very confirmed, but then Fed comes in and says that it's going to be very news dependent and with tariffs, inflation's coming in. So I still feel that just because of diversification, if we are looking at a 60-40 benchmark, depends on if you're an aggressive investor, you could divide that exposure which you are going to put in stocks versus something more exotic like semiconductors, for example. The ETFs built for semiconductors.
जैसे है
Yeah, semiconductors ETFs. I think the revenue from the worldwide revenue from semiconductors until now has been almost 700 billion.
wow.
And this is only expected to increase
because everything
further.
has now
Yeah. So that is like gold for a lot of people. So थोड़ा सा अगर हम लोग exotic जाएं, risk can be increased. For a normal investor who has no idea how semiconductors work या अगर risk appetite ज़्यादा नहीं है, they would always stick more with quality companies.
Got it.
Your financials, companies like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, which are expected to grow over a period of time. I feel if we were to allocate money, still looking at 2026, 60% towards stock. I think equities, and since we are talking about US market right now, otherwise there is a whole division
Sure,
which can
वो तो
come
अभी मैं
later on.
आऊंगा उसमें.
Yeah, but 60% in equities makes a lot of sense. 20% in debt probably, and I think remaining 20% can be decided between different kinds of ETFs, because now one factor which a lot of Indian investors earlier never used to look into was commodity ETFs. Gold, platinum growth has been more than 50-60%. Gold year till date I think 56% high.
Yeah.
Silver is 95% high. तो अब commodity ETF एक add हो गया है. तो हमको लगता है कि now an average Indian investor would look into commodity funds also, equity funds also, along with debt.
बट अभी मैं जो समझना चाहता हूँ ये है कि अगर मैंने लेट्स से बाकी एलोकेशन में अलग देखता हूँ, मेरे को $1,000 अगर यूएस में डालने हैं, मेरे पास लंबा समय है, 10 ईयर होराइजन है, तो मैं क्या करूँ? मतलब व्हाट शुड बी माय राइट कंपोजिशन ऑफ $1,000 इन इक्विटी?
Just the equity market.
But just equity, because other asset classes have to come
Yeah.
to you very
So, मतलब again, this is going to be my take. Small cap, of course, is going to be a good bet, but over long term, जब आप देखते हो ना,
long term
power is always going to be with the big cap. US का
Yeah.
experience है.
Okay.
Money stays with the tech companies. कोई small cap company बड़ी भी हो रही है, Google acquire कर लेगा.
हाँ, वहाँ खा लेते हैं, they are real sharks.
अगर आप that's what exactly if you were talking from just one year point of view तो और then we could say कि small cap का time है, but अगर आप you're talking about
10 year
long
horizon.
10 year horizon then it's always large cap.
मतलब यूएस में सेक्टोरल रोटेशन करनी नहीं चाहिए, हमेशा टेक ही रहेगा.
नहीं,
This is
इसमें भी
what the
कैसा है,
momentum says,
जैसे like see what you could do is अभी $1,000 डाल रहे हो, right? You could start with 50%, let's say $500 for the immediate term small cap में, $500 large cap में. But आप जैसे जैसे देख रहे हो कि small cap under perform कर रहा है,
तो you can move the money.
you allocate it back to the large cap. 60-70% वापस आप वहीं पर डाल दीजिए पैसा.
Got it. Okay, another thing in US जो मैं समझना चाहता हूँ वो ये है कि आपके पास US में अलग-अलग products हैं. So one is pure play ETF जो आप index ETFs होते हैं. वहाँ दो चीजें और बहुत चलती हैं. One is factor plays. So momentum, value,
Right.
quality,
Right.
alpha, then a mix of all these कुछ momentum वाले. इंडिया में भी अब ये काफी हद तक धीरे-धीरे people have started adapting to these indexes, passive indexes बन गए. And second things which we see are dated ETFs. So for example, एक हमने देखा जैसे life span 2040. So somebody who wants to retire in 2040 can take that ETF. So what do you think of these kind of products? मतलब are they a good set of products? Avoid or use them? How do you use them in your portfolio?
So for me personally, अगर मैं advise कर रहा हूँ कि if I'm suggesting तो मैं सबसे पहले तो देखूंगा कि उसका AUM कितना है, liquidity है क्या नहीं. क्योंकि क्या होता है जब हम ये themes की बात करते हैं ना, ये often एक temporary play बन जाता है. जैसे कि अभी rare earth का जो play चल रहा है US का, there are ETFs that are launched, but उसका AUM इतना growth हुआ नहीं है because it's just turning out to be more of a speculative at this point of time. वो companies का revenue अब तक आया नहीं है. China still hold the cards in this point. Similarly जो आपने जो 2040 ETF का जो बताया था, मतलब it's very crucial to understand उसके terms and conditions क्या है.
Okay.
मतलब I'm sure इसमें कुछ condition रहेगा जहाँ पे there would be gated condition. You cannot withdraw, you cannot sell before a certain period. So I would be looking at the entry exit cost, उसका actual AUM क्या है, and कल उठ के let's say after 5 years मुझे urgency में funds चाहिए through this 2040 ETF. I might not exactly want it to be redeemed at 2040. मुझे पहले भी लग सकता है because of some emergency. उसके क्या spreads रहने वाले exit के? ऐसा तो नहीं कि 10-15% उधर ही खा गया.
Very good point.
So
Very good point.
that is what I would be looking at.
कि लिक्विडिटी होनी चाहिए,
Liquidity
फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी होनी चाहिए.
फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी होनी चाहिए.
Got it, got it. And how about your plays of, let's say, momentum, quality, value? इसको कैसे खेलना चाहिए?
I think
या इसको छोड़ देना चाहिए और straight index डालना?
You should go with momentum based plays. I would say you should go with thematic plays also. जैसे कि मैंने
Yeah.
अभी जो रेरत की बात की थी, you should not miss on them. But you shouldn't put complete the $1,000 into such names. You stick with 50-60% to big
yeah.
names, and remaining 20-30% है. Whether आप उसको speculative बोलो या high risk high reward बोलो, it's up to you. But you should stay with this thing.
But दीपा, sectoral rotation करना सबके बस की बात नहीं है, because
Yeah, it's not.
people don't understand which sector will perform. आप लोग तो research कर रहे हैं, बहुत time लगाते हैं. तो should actually people play the sectoral rotation bet कि नहीं, चलो मैं इस 6 महीने गया, 1 साल AI में रहूंगा, फिर मैं semiconductor चला जाऊंगा, फिर मैं pharma चला जाऊंगा, मतलब या फिर momentum value play पकड़े?
नहीं, it does have a major role to play in certain conditions. For example, in the year 2020, at that point in time, if you would have missed out healthcare stocks, you would have missed out huge returns. So you need to
पर ये
know.
करे कैसे, मतलब एक आम निवेशक के लिए थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है, तो is there any way to?
Exactly, वो उसमें you need research. उसमें आपको बैठ के
So what momentum plays or
that's where we come in.
See, momentum में क्या है, वो तो already पूरी दुनिया chase कर ही नहीं है. मेरा ये मानना है. रही बात, how do you target the sectoral plays? Target a particular return.
Okay.
आपको 50% 100% बन गया,
बाहर हो
ये names निकल जाओ. Don't think कि आपको 1000% चाहिए.
समझ.
That is why people have lost money in such
the
plays.
good part, Sanjay, is they are globally, because this is something which is available in global ETFs. If you want to focus only on healthcare sector, without even picking the stocks, you could just buy an ETF
ETF, which
and
is
you
tracking
could
the healthcare.
get out whenever you want to. It's very flexible, very liquid. Another thing is sometimes, as I said, that a lot of investors who do not want to work too hard, या अगर उनके पास consultant available नहीं है, they want to do on their own. There is a ETF called Dividend Aristocrat Fund.
Okay.
These are the companies which have a history of giving and increasing dividends over last 60 or 100 years. इनका एक ETF बना हुआ है, which investors just love to buy and hold and forget about it.
And what is the yield?
I think more than 5%.
Wow. If the dividend में 5% का yield आना बहुत अच्छी बात है.
In excess of the treasury bills.
Easily, yeah.
So 5-5%.
और तो किसी ने अगर 10 साल पहले लिया होगा तो उसकी तो और भी अच्छी हो गई होगी, because is there capital appreciation or is it pure yield based?
Dividend.
It's pure
yield based.
Pure yield based.
There is some basic appreciation, but majorly
It's a yield based.
Yeah.
ये companies, these are not like मतलब high beta growth names. They are growth names like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and even healthcare companies भी हैं. But वो ऐसा नहीं है कि
But they're like dinosaurs, मतलब बहुत धीरे-धीरे
It's
चलेंगे.
stability. It's stability. So
Slow and
while
steady वाला.
so while you're investing in your healthcare funds and going cyclical completely, एक safer bet always is what you said. Look at the factor. Like he said, momentum. Everybody is riding the momentum. As far as cyclicals are concerned, you always pick your time. मुझे लगता है आजकल इतना information available है कि even an average investor अगर बस उठा के इंस्टाग्राम स्क्रॉल कर ले, आपका ही चैनल देख लेगा, तो ही नोज कि चल क्या रहा है. जैसे एआई, आज बच्चे को मालूम है एआई क्या है, तो उनको पता है कि हाँ, अगर आज आंखें बंद करके दुनिया बोल दे खड़े होके कि नहीं टेक गिरने वाला है, स्टिल विल गो एंड बाय टेक स्टॉक्स. सो आई थिंक साइक्लिकल इज समथिंग व्हिच नाउ इट हैज बिकम आवर नेचर. हर कोई बात करता है क्रिप्टो ऊपर जा रहा है, तो क्रिप्टो एवरीबॉडी स्टार्ट्स इन्वेस्टिंग इनटू क्रिप्टो. बट आई थिंक दिस इज वन थिंग व्हिच द ट्रेडिशनल इन्वेस्टर्स वुड लव टू, कि डिविडेंड ETF है, बाय करके छोड़ दो. दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच यू आर नॉट गोना लुक एट.
It's a very good product and I hope when we make that document उसमें हम ये डालें. एक चीज जो you want to say something? Sorry.
Okay, actually one thing that a strategy that I really follow when it comes to investing in markets, I mean अगर अभी for example markets are at high, invest करना है, how do you miss out? So you go in for stocks like ETFs like SPY, QQQ. It's a safe bet. आप clearly index में invest कर रहे हो, वो गिर भी सकता है, 10% 15% गिर सकता है. When it falls, with the remaining funds you have, or with that money only, when it falls, you transfer then into stocks. Because then stocks will rebound much faster than what your index will.
That's very interesting.
So that's something that I follow personally. It works really well. I mean, each time when you're investing, you invest in ETFs, you lose less because it won't fall as much as a single particular stock will fall. And then you shift your money, na? जब एक बार
Quality stocks में डाल दो.
you put in Nvidia, you put your money in those stocks where once the stock has fallen, and so,
Then it rebounds.
Yeah.
हमारे साथ अभी, and I think with just while talking to you, I could recollect जब last year September 2024 में Indian markets बहुत steeply गिरी, and I think mid-cap index was down by some 18 to 22%. We had very high quality stocks like Bombay Stock Exchange, listed, BSE खुद
Right.
listed था, CDSL, very good stock. CDSL is
Yeah,
kind of a
which-
monopoly,
Right.
duopoly.
Right.
और वो गिर गए 50%, 60%. तो आप सही कह रहे हो, अगर उस टाइम पे अपना थोड़ा पैसा निकाल के आप उन्हीं में डाल दो तो the rebound
can
was
just
very fast. They
much faster.
recovered within a span of 3-4
Yeah.
months.
You know company fundamental sound है, you're going to go all in.
हाँ, Bombay Stock Exchange कहाँ जाएगा, CDSL कहाँ जाएगा, मतलब
Exactly.
they will exist, they will exist.
I mean, you have a Microsoft, Google, Amazon, so many companies. So अगर आप QQQ या Nasdaq में invested हो या अगर आप SPY में invested हो, जब वो 10-15% गिरेगा तो these stocks will fall 25-30%.
हाँ.
That time you shift and
And
get into stocks.
Because they are the major constituents of
Yeah,
your index
of your
already.
index.
अच्छा, एक क्वेश्चन थीमेटिक के लिए मेरे पास आपके लिए है, वो है कि is fund of fund a better way to play thematics for somebody who doesn't understand sectoral rotation?
I think they will have more command over this, but I just feel from an investor perspective, it's the added cost which is the concern for fund of funds. Whatever returns you're able to generate, you have to see that how much you end up paying, because as compared to normal mutual funds or ETFs,
They will be
it
at
comes
20
across-
paisa, 0.2%,
Yeah.
0.3%.
Yes, yeah.
What is your view on this?
अभी कैसा है देखो, अभी इंडियन म्यूचुअल फंड्स जो है, आई थिंक इट कॉस्ट यू एंट्री एग्जिट कुछ 1.5-1.75% के आसपास रहता है.
नहीं, I think the AUM TERs, the total expense ratios are in the range of 0.5 to 0.8%. If taken directly, only there's an exit load of 1% in case अगर आप एक साल से पहले
एक साल से पहले. तो जो उनके जो कॉस्ट है, कंपेयर दैट विद टॉप परफॉर्मिंग वैनगार्ड या SPY, US is far more cost competitive as compared to the Indian mutual funds. So you already have a structure जहाँ पे directly these ETFs are giving you low cost entry. So not exactly a requirement जहाँ पे fund of funds के through invest करना चाहेंगे.
बट मेरे को आता नहीं, मतलब मेरा कंसर्न अभी तक वही घूम रहा है कि मेरे को आता नहीं है सेक्टर रोटेशन. सो स्टिल फंड ऑफ फंड इज बेटर, या जो हम नॉर्मल फिर इंडेक्सेस ही प्ले कर लें?
You can go with all these plain indices, SPY,
Yeah.
ETF,
much easier and
Much
cost effective.
easier.
Easier and safer.
and better to track. फंड ऑफ फंड्स में हो सकता है कि वो 3-4 जगह पे इन्वेस्टेड है, हो सकता है उसने मुझे कमोडिटीज में भी डाल दिया है, बट विद SPY ETF आपको पता है कि SPX इंडेक्स ही ट्रैक कर रहा है, एंड यू आर एक्चुअली ऑब्जर्विंग द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ दीस कंपनीज, एप्पल वगैरह है, तो इट्स वेरी सिंपल फॉर यू.
गॉट इट. आई थिंक यूएस का हमने काफी एग्जॉस्टिव अच्छा डिस्कशन किया, पसंद आया तो लाइक जरूर करना. नाउ वी विल मूव फ्रॉम टेक अ फ्लाइट फ्रॉम यूएस, वी कम बैक अ बिट टू यूरोप. तो यूरोजोन पे आते हैं. यूरोजोन में बहुत सारे मार्केट्स हैं, तो जरा यूरोजोन प्ले को अगर हम टेबल पे रखना चाहें तो क्या है यूरोजोन? बिकॉज आई हैव फ्रैंकली स्पीकिंग यूएस के बारे में फिर भी मुझे पता है, आई एम इन्वेस्टेड थ्रू आवर इंडियन ETFs, तो थोड़ा बहुत मैं ट्रैक करता रहता हूँ, बट यूरोप तो पल्ले ही नहीं पड़ा आज तक मेरे को, और ना हमारे पास कोई एसेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट है जिससे हम डाल सके. सो इफ यू कैन टेक यूरोप एंड वी कैन स्टार्ट अप डिस्कसिंग अबाउट इट.
Europe has always, first of all, on a lighter note, Europe has always lagged US
ओके.
returns के
Yeah.
Yeah.
There have been times, multiple times in the past, जहाँ पे Europe has outperformed for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. But जब हम long term duration compare करते हैं, dollar returns US has been the king.
ओके.
If we talk about what kind of markets are we looking in Europe, primarily we are talking about something like French luxury stocks.
तो गाइस, आई थिंक हमने अमेरिका यूएस काफी डिस्कस कर लिया. नाउ लेट्स टेक अ फ्लाइट फ्रॉम यूएस कम टू यूरोप. यूरोप का प्ले ना आज तक मुझे समझ नहीं आया, पर्सनली भी नहीं आया, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ भी एक्चुअली इंडिया में कोई ETFs नहीं है. यूएस के फिर भी हैं, तो हम यूएस में फिर भी एक्सपोजर ले लेते हैं. व्हाट इज यूरोप? व्हाट आर द काइंड ऑफ मार्केट्स व्हिच आर अवेलेबल, प्रोडक्ट्स? तो अगर हम यूरोप को डिकोड कर सके कंप्लीटली एज अ कैपिटल मार्केट्स तो बहुत बढ़िया रहेगा.
So, I mean, as you go and enjoy Europe, different cities of Europe, you have different markets of Europe. So, if you want to, like, for example, you have Spain, you have IBEX, then you have France 40, you have Germany. So, likewise, you have all the countries where
All the countries have their, but which are the prominent ones? But the prominent exchange is prominent.
We are talking about German DAX, and we are talking about
France
CAC
cannot be
40 जो
missed,
फ्रांस का है. To some extent, I would say even Switzerland का जो Swiss index, Swiss 20 है.
Swiss 20.
And इनका मतलब आप देखोगे ना, जैसे कि आपने बोला कैटेगराइजेशन, जर्मन इंडेक्स का बात करोगे, you talk about SAP, Siemens and automobiles. France luxury stocks, Louis Vuitton है, Hermes है. If you talk about Switzerland, you're talking about pharmacy companies, you're talking about Swiss companies, industries like ABB,
Banks.
and all that,
Yeah.
banks. तो हर एक का एक unique monopoly है.
Okay,
Sort of,
that's
talk
interesting.
about
you cannot
your
miss out
opinions.
the UK markets as well, FTSE 100. So, I mean, for the layman to understand, as they go and enjoy Europe, different countries, likewise, you have different markets. Every, like he said, every index has its own specialization.
तो यूरोप प्ले क्या है? Or how do we play Europe as a market?
Europe currently, lot of investor money, lot of investor attraction because interesting to surprising चीज रही because of Donald Trump.
अच्छा.
डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प ने इन अ वे इनको फटकार लगाई थी कि तुम लोग डिफेंस में स्पेंडिंग नहीं कर रहे हो, यू आर नॉट काउंटरिंग द रशिया थ्रेट. तो सिंस लास्ट 1 year, since last 8 months to 1 year, these guys have invested heavily in their fiscal stimulus packages, defense, industrials, and even the banking system. That has basically created a big bull run in European stocks.
Okay.
All thanks to Donald Trump.
चलो यार, कहीं तो कुछ लाया हो. अच्छा. तो क्या रहा है? What has been the rally? What has been the growth percentage in
The outperformance over US, I would say something in the range of 15 to 20% के आसपास.
And on an average, 30%. If you see like Austria, Hungary, Greece,
Yes.
Airtel returns around 30%.
Yeah.
Czech and Polish, for example, almost 50% returns have been generated.
Wow.
So from what he exactly said, due to exactly that part where they've started spending more on their defense budget, this is something which probably will push this economy for another 10 years and even higher. And once we reach to the point that how to invest in it, we'll tell you about a product which we have created just to address that part. Yeah. But
Just to add that point, start of the year, US indices were lagging very badly to the European indices.
Okay.
Fast forward to April में, US is a caught up. जैसे मैं बता रहा था कि डॉलर के साथ पैसा रहता ही है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि यूरोप में इन्वेस्ट मत करो. मेरा बोलने का पॉइंट ये है कि जो पावर ऑफ बिग टेक है, इट ऑलवेज कैचेस ऑन एट सम पॉइंट.
So, अगर अब हम आते हैं, मैं एक इन्वेस्टर हूँ. Let's say I am somebody who's young investor हूँ, 30 के आसपास हूँ, and I want to play Europe now.
राइट.
मेरे को कुछ इन्वेस्ट करना है. अमेरिका हम समझ गए.
Right.
अब यूरोप मुझे प्ले करना, तो कौन सी मार्केट, कौन सा प्रोडक्ट, कितना एसेट में एलोकेशन, बट इक्विटीज ओनली राइट नाउ.
Okay.
मतलब अभी हम दूसरे एसेट क्लासेस पे नहीं आए. गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर विल डिस्कस लेटर.
प्राइमरी टू स्टार्ट विद, अभी जो थीम चल रहा है, दैट इज जर्मन डिफेंस कंपनीज.
ओके.
Okay, not so much with the automakers because of the big competition that's happening from China. But जो main theme है, जहाँ पे जो big institution and even the Wall Street hedge fund money जा रहा है, that is with the German defense names. And I would say to some extent also the luxury names in France.
Okay.
There has been a steep correction in these names. Past में देखोगे तो I feel that's a laggard. Any sign of uptick जहाँ पे earnings good होना start हो जाता है, I think LVMH कुछ साइंस दिखा रहा है. That would be one more interesting play जहाँ investors target कर सकते हैं.
So German defense and French luxury, is your take. How about you?
I would just like to add, so when he's saying French luxury, when investors are tracking the markets, the minute we start seeing an uptick in the China market, that's when you start investing more in the French market as well.
Okay.
Because luxury, the one of the biggest buyers of luxury is
China.
from China. So once we see, which we have been seeing, there has been a rebound in China and Hong Kong.
China, yes.
So that's why it's a good time to start playing the France market as well. Luxury stocks should start doing well. So yeah, I would agree with what Bhavik is saying.
And how about participating directly in the, let's say, the France 40, Swiss 20,
Yeah.
ETFs, उसके कुछ products क्या available?
So pretty much close to what they said. Germany very important, and I think another reason behind Germany is that the components of German index, a lot of these companies they get their revenue from US.
Okay.
तो आपने देखा होगा कितनी बार there is something going on in Europe which should bring the index down, लेकिन index ऊपर ही जा रहा है. It's because US is doing better, so that is the reason why German index is also doing better. So you are definitely into German. I still feel to divide the risk further, as I said, economies like Czech and Polish generated returns over 50%. Greece, Hungary, others, they now, rather than going specifically into the index, there can be an ETF which can give you that participation. From iShares, from Wisdom Tree, a lot of these ETFs are created which gives you exposure on European equities. So while you're exposed to Germany and France, which are two very important economies also, I think now we can put that part where all these other economies along with Swiss index. What Bhavik said, that Swiss is primarily focused on pharmacy, financials, something which is less riskier also.
And has a stable growth.
Basically, it acts as a defensive play.
Yeah.
So when the entire world may not be doing well,
तो ये
Correct.
चीज़ कर
at least this will balance the
60%,
portfolio.
I think 60% of the components are into that particular.
So which is that
industry.
ETF which can allow me participation across board?
iShares Europe ETF is one. I think one is created by Vanguard
Stocks
also.
50, stocks
Eurostocks
500.
Eurostocks 50
Yeah.
ETF.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
And
top
600.
one very important thing which Century created for that very event, what Deepa and Bhavik said, that those companies which have increased their defense budget, those companies which are involved into that, we have created a share basket which is called Euro Select basket. This comprises of the companies which will get benefited by the increase of the defense budget over the next 10-15 years.
Okay.
And this is something which has been created by Century. So anybody who has access to the platform can also
So it's like your ETF. मतलब आपका
Yes.
एक तरीके का
Yeah.
ETF हो गया वो.
more like a basket. So this
It's a
selects
basket,
those
yeah.
particular companies which is going to get benefited. So this is a very different sort of diversification. It's like a very major event which has happened, capitalizing on that.
Okay, so if in Europe you had to categorize a country as large cap, mid cap, small cap, तो कौन सी large cap होंगी, कौन सी mid cap होंगी, कौन सी small cap होंगी?
Probably Germany large cap right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Then mid cap more to with like Spanish and Portugal,
Okay,
and small cap would be like the Eastern European.
which is like
Yeah.
Czech and
Yes.
Poland हो गया,
Polish.
Czech हो
तो
गया.
अगर मुझे प्ले करना है और मैं चाहता हूँ कि मैं थोड़ा स्मॉल कैप भी प्ले करूँ, let's say 20-30% of my portfolio, I'm young, I want to invest for 20 years. तो how do I play Czech, Poland, all these small
Again, in
caps?
सबके iShares के
Yeah,
ETFs are
there are ETFs which are available. In fact, for some of these, there are currency hedged ETFs also.
Okay.
बिकॉज अगर आज एक इंडियन इन्वेस्टर है जो इंडिया में कर रहा है, उसके लिए दो करेंसी रिस्क है, बिकॉज दीज ETFs आर इन डॉलर फॉर्मेट एंड द स्टॉक्स व्हिच आर इन इट आर इन यूरोस. सो देयर इज यूरो USD, देयर इज INR डॉलर. But some of these currency hedged ETFs, they have already currency forwards which neutralize the impact. So जो एक main euro USD का impact है, that one leg is taken care of. So there are currency hedged European stocks ETFs also that also can be provided. And this is not something which investors in India get very easy access to. इसीलिए
But ये है ही, हम लोग बात ही उन लोग के लिए कर रहे हैं जिनके पास ये access है.
Exactly.
It's not in India, people
Yeah.
staying outside. हम ये पूरे सब में जो है मेन पिताजी को तो भूल ही गए, UK. तो UK का क्या है, मतलब what do you see of UK as an index market? How do you play UK now?
UK, see what has happened is apparently the economy is supposed to be not in good shape
Yeah.
because of a lot of domestic issues in terms of debate over immigration का हो गया against they've had like 6 to 7 prime minister changes in the span of 3 to 4 years after Brexit. तो policy narration जो है it's in doldrums as far as the economy is concerned. As far as stock market is concerned, I think majorly जो gains that are being led by I think AstraZeneca again related to
Pharma play.
Pharma
pharma
play.
play हो गया है. They currently have been very active signing trade deals even with India government.
क्या हम पूरा दुकान लेके आ गए?
Yeah.
दुकान लेके आ गए थे. तो they have been very active in that front. So would be interesting to see उसके gains कितने.
But would you take any exposure now, or you would just play
I
the?
would
we would
fence?
play safe.
We would be
Yeah.
safe at this point of time.
Yeah.
So great guys, I think काफी clarity मिल गई. And again in our document all these ETFs would be mentioned, even the Centuries ETF would be mentioned. Okay, अब हम यूरोप से उड़ के आते हैं. Now let's come towards India, but India तो हम discuss, we know India fairly well. Our audience knows India fairly well. So now let us talk about the Southeast Asian markets. Apparently जो मतलब काफी एनालिस्ट कह रहे हैं कि ये शायद the next growth engine लेके जाएगा, which is Vietnam,
Yes.
Taiwan, Indonesia, and ये वाला जो area है. So any exposure on that, any play on that, which we can play? Your thoughts and views on that?
Recently अगर आप देखोगे there's this ETF MSCI Emerging Market ETF
Yeah.
which has broken above its multi-year high.
अच्छा.
India, South Africa, Brazil, China. Sorry, that is ex-China. Because all these country ETFs itself are breaking above their previous highs. So I'm not sure उसमें Vietnam का कितना proportion है, but for sure India है, South Africa है, Brazil है, उनका जो components है, that is basically leading the gains in this MSCI Emerging Markets ETF. So because what happens is emerging market theme में it's purely momentum driven. एक तरीके से देखा जाए when investors are seeing कि उसमें एक breakout हुआ है, तो it's going to ride for some amount of time. before the dust.
But the wins will create more wins.
Yes.
Okay.
Wins will create more wins. And other way, how investors are looking at, maybe people actually want to diversify from the US economy, from the US stocks, whether it's Europe or whether it's emerging markets. That again is an interesting thing.
Even South Korean economy has performed really well.
Okay.
I think around 25-30% year till date has been generated. Apart from South Korea, if we see Indonesia, for example, returns have been very flat. I think this has been one of those years where the returns are around 1 or 2% negative side. Singapore, or if you see Singapore has done really well. See Malaysia again slightly lower. But we have seen what he said, economies like Vietnam, for example. A lot of investors are now very much open to investing in these economies because as the new sectors come into the picture, example AI, for example, if there are any economies which are more focused on those sectors, now they're getting a lot of weightage. The investment idea is very simple, same. iShares, MSCI, South Korean ETF, or what he said, that there is a ETF for Asian economies, which can be invested into, because it will always be, if you're investing in emerging markets, if you do it separately, there is always a currency risk. But if you do it through an ETF, which is in dollar terms, or if you're picking a stock, you do it through ADRs. It's always a good idea to, but the problem with ADRs is only large cap companies have their ADRs format, so it's not available for everyone. But then otherwise, South Korean, Indonesian, Malaysia, Philippines, for example, Vietnam, for example, Singapore, for example, these have continued to perform well. And I think exposure through an ETF is the best idea. And I think from a diversification perspective, you cannot ignore Asia at all.
तो MSCI emerging markets का ETF ले लेंगे, तो we have participated broadly in
Participated,
everything.
yeah.
Now let's come to the land of rising sun, Japan. 32 years in limbo. मतलब सबको वो स्टोरी पता है कि 1990s में क्या हुआ, फिर वो U cup shape बना. Now but it has come back, and recently we have seen कि Warren Buffett ने भी पैसा वहाँ पे invest किया. What are your views on Japan, and what is driving this growth in Japan now? मतलब सब कह रहे डेमोग्राफी मर चुकी है, लोग ओल्ड हो चुके हैं, ओवर एफिशिएंसी अचीव हो चुकी है. So what is happening now to that country?
I think the recent surge happened because of the change in the political structure.
Okay.
I think the recent government is more focused towards adding more stimulus and making better. But I think number-wise, Mavik would know more.
तो जो primary reason है, Japanese JPY was known to be a cheap
Exactly.
funding currency because interest rates were low.
जी.
ठीक है, तो they had to chase the money outside. जहाँ पे अभी US है कि high yielding jurisdictions आप invest कर रहे हो. Now what has happened, because the corporate growth rate has increased, profits have increased, inflation वहाँ पे apparently it has started ticking up despite the slowing demographics. All that big pension fund money is going back to the local stock markets. वो उनका एक base foundation. And then what is mentioned, the जो reasons बता रहे हैं, political landscape change and all that, that is basically a big tailwind factor that is adding to the gains in this markets. Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett basically highlight कर दिया कि जापान में तुम्हें इन्वेस्ट करना है. That is the cycle.
Yeah.
So is Japan a dividend play or a growth play?
More of a growth play
Oh.
at this point of time.
At this point, actually, so what happened, what Bhavik was talking about, previously the yen was always underappreciated. I mean, it was...
Yen carry trade होता था.
Yeah. And the value was so low. So that added to a great advantage for Japan. We all know Japan has many manufacturing companies. So because of that, and they were all into exports. So a weaker currency made their exports cheaper, and they benefited a lot because of that. And that's how the cycle started going in their favor, and then inflation started ticking up, and now things are moving very well for Japan. So I would, like Bhavik is saying, it is now actually a part of the growth play as well.
So अगर मैं international investor हूँ, तो मुझे एक portion जापान को
Yeah.
देना
देना
चाहिए.
चाहिए.
The
Yes.
regulations are very, very different. I think Japan, the regulators and the authorities, they incentivize companies which do well in terms of business. So within the Japanese stock market, it's not like any company which is listed may or may not perform. That's one thing. But if they perform well, they are incentivized positively and negatively also.
अच्छा. मतलब
Like
वो
if you don't
reward
perform
and
well,
reprimand दोनों हैं.
if you don't perform well, you can be very well delisted also.
Oh, okay.
And with lower interest rates in Japan as compared to the whole world, of course, people would want to focus on more riskier assets to get more return. So I think that has been one of the reasons that why people have continued to invest into Japanese equities. I think there was only a short period of time when there was some political uncertainty. We saw the equities falling down.
Yeah.
But I think since then, Japan has reached new heights.
Okay, and how do I play this? मतलब कैसे invest करें? Again ETF?
Again, you have ETFs available for the same. I mean, also we have it on our platforms as well,
Yeah.
but you have ETFs available
Okay.
everywhere.
Yeah.
for
So Sanjay,
easy
it's not really complicated because nowadays ETFs is something which is available for everything, from uranium to marijuana to robotics. Every single so if we don't know what companies to invest in, we trust in and what these guys said, that you look at the AUM of the ETF, you look at the past history, it shows you how it has grown, the growth of
Any minimum AUM कि आप इतना तो होना ही चाहिए AUM?
Generally, I would suggest anything that is about 300 to 400 million
Okay.
dollars.
Okay. 300-400 million
Yeah.
dollars होगा तो you can see the volumes.
कुछ एक भरोसा बैठता है कि इन्वेस्टर इंस्टीट्यूशनल प्लस रिटेल मनी है
Yeah.
उसमें.
Okay, now I think the last country which I would cover is China. तो मेरे को तो बहुत पैसा बना के दिया भाई चाइना ने. I think entered at the right time in Hang Seng V's and there was a good rally. How do we play China now? Because tariffs, stress, they are retaliating. और अभी big tech में भी fight चल ही रहा है.
Yeah.
Rare earth metals पे पूरा control almost उनका है. ताइवान पे कब्जा करने की बात है. मतलब geopolitically China is always at the center of discussion.
Yeah.
So how do we play China now? Should it become a part of the portfolio or wait करें? क्या play करें उसको?
I would say we are already at the mid cycle as far as Chinese appreciation growth story is concerned. As you've mentioned, आप Hong Kong index के gains देखोगे, Chinese tech news में देखोगे. We are already past that stage जहाँ पे we cannot call that as an initial stage. We are sitting in the mid stage. A lot will depend on the outcome of US and China trade war. China will be impacted more as compared to US because the Chinese currency is not free float, unlike dollars. Dollar is a reserve currency. People will still put their money in US Treasury bills, save investments. Not the case with China. But then again, we also need to be mindful of the fact that Chinese is a big domestic consumption economy. India भी है, but per capita income, Chinese economy being more productive, Chinese tech companies, you'd be surprised to know something like Alibaba is among the top 6 global companies जिसके पास highest free cash flow पड़ा है.
Wow.
Something like $40 to $50 billion. In line with, in fact, more than Meta,
Wow.
more than Facebook. So उनके पास जो monopoly pricing power है for the domestic economy, that's huge. So any correction, if you're going to say broadly more investing more than a country ETF, I would be more comfortable with individual stocks like JD,
Yeah, makes sense.
Alibaba, Mehto.
Yeah.
Makes sense, definitely.
Monopoly है.
But ऐसे कोई stocks का ETF है जहाँ monopoly है या नहीं है मतलब?
I think
You get access to all these cloud names. So all of them, like they've diversified to cloud and robotics.
Okay.
So that's a list that we're going to share with you.
there's a
जिसमें
ETF I think called Crane Shares
Crane
China
Shares.
Yeah.
Internet ETF.
China ETF है.
This gives you exposure to the tech.
उसमें भी सब diversifications we can give you, like robotics वाला है, cloud computing वाला play है,
Perfect.
Alibaba cloud है, and all that kind of names.
Okay. So guys, I think हमने markets को discuss कर लिया predominantly जितने बड़ी markets थी. But now let's talk about commodities. And इस साल silver को मिला है gold medal और gold को मिला है silver medal. ठीक है? थोड़ा exchange हुआ है इनका खुद के बीच में. So gold, silver, and everybody is now saying the next big thing is copper. How do we play this? How does 2026 look like? And एक long term investor को ये सारे commodities को कैसे play करना है? क्या routes है हमारे पास?
इंटरेस्टिंग चीज ये है कि फॉर अ सेकंड जस्ट लीव असाइड कि गोल्ड है, सिल्वर है, कॉपर है. वी आर इन द मिडल ऑफ अ कमोडिटी 6 to 7 year मल्टी सुपर बुल साइकिल.
Bull cycle.
सो अनलाइक इक्विटी साइकिल जहाँ पे 2 या 3 साल के बाद यू कुड सी लाइक 20-30% पुल बैक, commodities are known, commodity super cycles are known जहाँ पे 7 to 8 year का पीरियड रहता है. अगर आप हिस्टोरिकल चार्ट्स देखोगे तो आई वुड से वी आर इन द मिडल ऑफ दैट. 2026 again is the year where we could see more gains for gold, silver, copper, and even certain agri commodities like coffee है, sugar है, they have broken above their previous lifetime highs. So year, I would say, era of this super cycle in commodity that is happening, and
हमने का नाम नहीं लेने वाला भी.
difficult not to stay with them.
Okay.
So जैसे कि आप पूछ रहे थे कि इक्विटी में allocation करना है, I would say कि आपका 20 to 30% should be also on this commodity.
Commodity funds,
Yeah,
yes.
major chunk should be towards commodity, especially like gold and silver. There are many people who feel that okay, maybe gold is now a short, or you need to exit gold positions. But we need to understand why gold is going up suddenly, randomly. Gold. That's because we have a lot of central bank buying happening for gold. So that is something that you should not challenge. If central banks have started buying gold, they have enough money to buy gold. So you cannot, and plus now ETF demand for gold has also started going up. So you cannot challenge the central banks. So जब तक वो trend on है, you have to, probably, like we have data, we have access to all of this, wherein we are tracking the central bank buying. So based on that, we can say that till the time that is on, you should not go short on gold.
So $1,000 in gold, silver, and how would you put a commodity portfolio today for $1,000 a month?
I would say 50% gold.
Oh, okay.
20-25% silver, and remaining your choice, but maybe I would go with something like copper, because you're talking about again EV transition है, AI data center demand है, whatever the drivers are. So gold में एक interesting चीज ये है, the world has realized कि अगर हम पूरा पैसा का डॉलर में रखें, I'm talking about central banks, US का sanctioning power आ जाता है, you get a president like Trump जो कल उठ के आपके ऊपर 100% tariff लगा देगा.
मोदी आदमी है.
People want to diversify away from that. वो एक primary driver है जहाँ पे gold का central bank buying is one of the key reasons.
ठीक है, तो gold हो गया. How would you allocate?
To a great extent, I would just maybe just slightly increase my exposure towards silver, make it 30%, and then the remaining, like he said, copper. Because again, industrial demand is going up. You have electric vehicles, the world is changing. Silver demand is high, very high. There's so much short squeeze for silver. The physical demand for silver is so high. So in general, I feel silver is the next gold, like you said. I mean, of course, it's not gold.
Sure,
but yeah, major chunk has to be in gold because it's like a safe commodity. And then you have silver and then copper. But maybe if you want higher returns, so then I would go a little more squeezed into silver.
Got it. Copper को play कैसे करें? How would you play copper?
Best way not to go with any futures और उसमें roller cost आ जाता है.
ETF है कोई कॉपर का?
CIPR कैसे कुछ तो भी ETF है, which themselves invest in the physical copper inventory and all that.
अच्छा.
As well as some component in the rolling 3-month LME futures का जो है forward contract है. So that would be one of the best ways to target upside in copper prices.
How about you? आपका $1,000 कैसा?
I think it's going to be a 50-40-10. 50% in gold. I think Deepa increased 10% extra in silver. I will add more in silver. I think for silver, simply because the demand supply deficit is too high, and I feel with the renewed demand for solar panels, for EVs, semiconductors, and a lot of these things have actually. So if we look at the mining and refining part of that also, earlier there was enough supply, but now that is not. So I think silver is definitely still very undervalued. I was reading somewhere that the targets for silver is 100-120 into 2026. In case of gold, it's even much higher than $5,000. Yeah. So the problem with gold is जो yearly target होते हैं analyst के वो 2 महीने में achieve होते हैं.
फिर वो बेचारे फिर से report डाल रहे होते हैं.
So a little more inclined towards silver definitely, but gold has to be there in the portfolio because apart from an inflation hedge, safe haven, central bank buying, and if you see the numbers, $14 billion worth of influx in ETF demand for gold.
They say gold ETFs are now the third largest holders after I think US and Germany.
हाँ, और पहले कोई इतना नहीं देखता था. If you see silver, for example, same around $1 to $2 billion worth of influx. Now, an average investor earlier उसको मालूम ही नहीं होगा gold ETF क्या होता है. वो लोग सोचते भी नहीं होंगे हमें gold में invest करना है. For them, equity investment or bonds. It's fixed deposits or real estate or equities. But now we have to make room for both these. And that can be done through a collective commodity ETF also.
Achha.
Like there is S&P GCSI commodity index, right? Global commodity index, which gives you an overall exposure of gold, silver. I think crude oil is also added.
But precious का composition ज़्यादा ही रहता है हमेशा, क्योंकि it's like a SPX index, right? Leaders कभी miss नहीं करोगे.
And plus non-volatile भी होगा comparatively as compared to crude, which could become very very volatile. Okay, one last asset class which I would like to speak about is Bitcoin, crypto. तो अभी बात हुई कि central bank जो है यूएस का, यूएस कैन प्ले ऑफ, बट देयर इज अ टॉक दैट यूएस वांट्स टू काइंड ऑफ रीसेट देयर एंटायर $37 ट्रिलियन डेट बाय क्रिप्टो. बहुत ज्यादा अभी ब्लैक रॉक ने भी खरीदा, बट आफ्टर दैट देयर हैज बीन अ 25-30% फॉल in Bitcoin recently. How would you, as individuals of Century, what are your views on crypto अभी इस time पे?
See अभी क्या है, न्यू एज इन्वेस्टमेंट है, कैटेगरी ऑफ ब्लॉकचेन नीश इन्वेस्टमेंट्स. Gen Z बहुत fascinated है.
So is it a FOMO investing?
FOMO तो है,
Definitely.
मतलब I'll be very frank with you.
But
FOMO भी है, speculation भी है. होता क्या है ना, जो कोर यूसेज है, आई कैन नेम यू सर्टेन कॉइन्स लाइक इथेरियम है या रिपल है, जहाँ पे एक्चुअली देयर इज अंडरलाइंग ब्लॉकचेन एक्टिविटी.
Solana है, Cardano है.
Yes, me personally, I'm sure like they might differ with my view. मेरे लिए personally, जब तक उसका core basis नहीं है, it won't last long. I'm not saying that Bitcoin will crash to zero. You should have Bitcoin because it's like an Apple or Microsoft of that particular investment category. But over the years, जब हम future की बात करेंगे, a better allocation would be to go with coins like Ethereum and Ripple.
जिनके पास projects है.
Yes.
There is underlying development activity. Bitcoin to my mind अभी भी मेरे दिमाग में ऐसा आता है कि it's more of a transaction value, जहाँ पे मैंने पैसा, मेरा डॉलर है या INR है या यूरो है, BTC में कन्वर्ट कर दिया, I'm transferring through a particular exchange and all that. But with Ethereum मेरा और with Solana मेरा actual एक blockchain usage है, प्रोजेक्ट है जो इकोसिस्टम में जाने वाला है. तो आई सी मोर स्कोप ऑफ अप्रिसिएशन विद दीस काइंड ऑफ कॉइन्स एज कंपेयर्ड टू Bitcoin.
appreciation wise, definitely. I mean, a Bitcoin is already at 100K plus. So then for that appreciation wise, definitely your gains can be much more for a Ripple. Like for example, I think in the last 1 year only, from 1 it went up to 3 also. So there itself you had like almost 200% gains. So that you won't see in Bitcoin anymore. But as far as like, of course, this, like you said, it is a speculative play, and the gains are going to be there. It's a FOMO, and if you want to be a part of it, you cannot miss out. So
तो थोड़ा allocation
कर लो. And but उतना ही करना है जितना मालूम है कि चला गया तो दुख नहीं है. So you have to do that much.
इसमें एक इंटरेस्टिंग प्ले ये है कि like what we are telling our clients is do not put money in a high value coin like Ethereum जो 3.5-4 पे है, या Bitcoin जो 120-130 पे. There are companies who put their entire money in this mining projects, mining and staking projects. They are trading at $20-30. Okay, so again we are not promising कि 30 का 100 हो जाएगा, but अगर Ethereum अगर 4 का 10 जाना है, वो 30 का 60 तो होने ही वाला है, क्योंकि उसका अंडरलाइंग एसेट Ethereum है.
Got it. तो ये वो सूडो प्ले का एक तरीका. How about you? आपको क्या लगता है?
I think Bitcoin is it's a heaven for short-term traders. They love
Or hell. Either ways.
They enjoy the volatility. एक चीज जो $3,000 मूव कर रही है दिन में, but yeah, definitely for an investor, as she said, जो पैसा आप जलाने को ready हो, you put that in cryptos. But I would still stick with Bhavik what he said, that see, Ethereum and cryptos, even if we want to be serious about Bitcoin, it's still not a very sustainable way of mining the cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is not that sustainable to mine as compared to Ethereum and Solana. Solana is even much more sustainable in mining when it comes to Ethereum and Bitcoin together. And Solana can do literally everything what Ethereum can. So would still stick with smaller denomination, but crypto exposure is important. Why? Because it is still an emerging concept,
which has the potential to give you little longer.
And I feel that the people who are actually more excited about it, like he's talking about Gen Zs, they are the one now who are deriving the investment trends. चाहे हम लोग AI की बात करें या क्रिप्टो की बात करें, what we got to learn from our parents, वो हमने अपने पेरेंट्स से सीखा, but we are not able to apply that. So हमने सीखा किसी से, but हम किसी को सिखा नहीं पा रहे हैं. In fact, the generation below us, which is Gen Zs, they are telling us where to invest into. We cannot ignore that fact. I go to universities and institutions and I ask children that where do you invest in? No hands up. I ask them, do you trade in cryptos? They're talking about Ripple and Binance Coin and whatnot. So I think we cannot
आपकी बात बिल्कुल लॉजिकल है, because हमारी जनरेशन जो थी, हमने ड्राइव किया कंजम्पशन को, फर्स्ट Web1 टेक्नोलॉजीज को. इन लोगों ने आके अब ये Web3 टेक्नोलॉजीज है, AI है, जिसको ये लोग ड्राइव कर रहे हैं. Great. And how do you play? Direct investing or do you play through ETFs?
I think
I would rather be more comfortable through the companies जिनका price itself small है, stocks $5, $10. You can say penny stock है because काफी सारे companies के revenues नहीं है. but they have inventory of physical Ethereum, Solana, Ripple coins in their balance sheet. So you know for a fact कि अगर तुम्हें एक आपके दिमाग में एक bet है कि Ethereum is going to go from 4,000 10,000, a better bet would be to invest in a company like BTBT or Bit Digital or Bitfufu, जो trading at $3 $5. मेरा entry जो cost है, it becomes lower. Basically,
So you make your own portfolio here.
Yes.
You make your own portfolio. Okay, guys, that gets me to the last segment. I think we have discussed everything. हमने markets almost सारे discuss कर ली. Bhavik, we'll start with you.
yes.
How would you put your $1,000 as investment in 2026? चाहे वो across markets, across multi assets, कैसे आप अपने $1,000 को डिजाइन करोगे?
मेरे लिए 3 plays रहेंगे. First thing would be US large cap. Okay, so US large cap, I'm talking about Meta, Nvidia, all the top tech 8, tech 10 companies जो आते हैं. Second would be US small caps.
And what would be the proportion in that $1,000?
That would be around 50%.
Oh, okay.
50% रहेगा, 50% रहेगा. उसके बाद आते हैं second category का roughly in the range of 25 to 30%. That would be small caps, but those will be purely thematic plays. जैसे कि rare earth हो गया, you're talking about the space exploration technologies हो गया, जो companies I feel कि ये shutdown जब पूरा खत्म हो जाता है US government का, it's going to be the next big leg rally for these kind of things, space exploration, उनको funding वापस आ जाता है, NASA से Department of Defense. So that's the second category. My third remaining 25-30%, it would be in commodities. We're talking about gold, silver, copper, but I'll be sticking to metals more than the agri ones.
So no space for any other international market or crypto in your portfolio, right?
No.
Or I think $1,000 too less.
1,000 million.
Deepa, how about you? How would you?
Pretty much same. Like, we were speaking about international markets, be it China, be it all the small countries that we discussed. But what I've seen over the years that I have traded, it has always outperformed. So it's like simply the point is we human beings we are never satisfied. We always want to
Vanity and novelty. दोनों चीजें
we're never
हमारे को.
satisfied with when something when a simple strategy is giving you good returns, we still want to go somewhere else, dig deeper. So that is something we can't do anything about, human
So you would
behavior.
stick to a similar.
Yeah, pretty much similar. Maybe I would probably go 20% gold, 20% silver, and then the remaining 60% in equities. And then within equities, say I would not want to miss out on Indian markets to some extent. But yeah, Indian markets, the problem is the rupee depreciation. So, but then in India, you have small cap stocks which are giving great returns. So maybe some amount, 10%, I would also want to keep in Indian markets, and then the remaining in US large cap majorly, and then the next 1 or 2 years, I would even focus on small cap. But majorly, like he said, it would be focused on large cap US stocks, and then of course you cannot miss out on gold, silver, and other commodities.
योगेश, आपके $1,000 कहाँ जाने वाले हैं?
So I want to first say they both are right. But just
Is it a century का view point जो आप लोग बता रहे
I'm
हो?
telling you, they both are right. But just to sound different on camera, I will change my allocation to it. But I think just 5 to 10% I want to allot it to the futuristic part, the thematic part. But in that, we are talking about cybersecurity funds.
Okay.
Cybersecurity funds is something which has constantly been in a lot of our portfolios when we are telling to the clients. लेकिन लोगों को ज़्यादा exposure नहीं मिलता है cybersecurity में. Either they are not aware about it, but that's the big thing, because we are digitalized heavily right now. All our IDs, every bank account. But we are not focused on the idea that there are 15, 16 kinds of cyber threats, and there are so many companies, and there are governments who are spending billions and billions every year on cybersecurity. So I think one of those ETFs I really want to.
So that's a thematic play. You would do that thematic.
That, and I think yes, a percentage difference between large caps and small caps is really important. So I think from the 40% allocation which I want to put it into equities, 20% could be into large caps. 20% which goes to small cap, I think 10% US small caps, but 10% to just emerging market funds. I think emerging markets should conclude China and Japan and India and like
So
a fund.
MSCI जो emerging index.
Basically
right.
something which can give me exposure towards Gulf and Asia also. And then I think remaining part, I am more bullish on commodities in the coming year. I think gold and silver are poised for growth, and I think this growth is not something which can be very conventional. मुझे लगता है कि this year was extraordinary. आई थिंक जब आप देखते हैं कि गोल्ड 56% ऊपर गया है, सिल्वर 95% ऊपर गया है, आई थिंक द नेक्स्ट ईयर दिस नंबर्स आर इवन गोइंग टू बी बिगर. सो आई थिंक मोर एक्सपोजर टुवर्ड्स कमोडिटीज.
वाओ गाइस, थैंक यू सो मच. आपने इतना टाइम दिया, योर हॉस्पिटैलिटी इन दुबई, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गेटिंग मी टू योर ऑफिस एंड गिविंग दिस रेयर अर्थ मेटल टू आवर ऑडियंस, जहाँ पे लोगों को अब समझ आ गया कि कहाँ इन्वेस्ट करना है. प्लस विल डेफिनेटली गिव यू दैट PDF डॉक्यूमेंट जिसमें ये सारे जो भी ETFs इन्होंने मेंशन किए हैं विद देयर लिंक्स वुड बी मेंशन्ड इन दैट PDF. एंड आप, मेरे मन में अभी भी बहुत क्वेश्चंस है, बट मैं जानता हूँ वी आर रनिंग आउट ऑफ टाइम, वी हैव अदर थिंग्स टू डू. सो अगर आपके माइंड में भी कुछ क्वेश्चंस हैं जो आपको लगता है कि आप इनसे पूछना चाहते हैं, यू कैन गिव दोज क्वेश्चंस टू मी इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. आई विल सेट अप अनदर मीटिंग, रिक्वेस्ट देयर टाइम्स, and we will do another set of question answers जो सीधा ऑडियंस हमसे पूछेगी. So if you are up for that, please give your questions, and if you're up for that, write part 2 in the comment section. Thank you guys, thank you so much for all your time.
Thank you for having us.
तो guys, अगर आप यहाँ तक आ चुके हैं, इसका मतलब है आपने कंप्लीट एपिसोड देखा है. आपकी टॉप लर्निंग्स क्या रही है मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में जरूर बताइएगा, और इस तरीके के टॉपिक्स में क्या डिस्कशन चाहिए वो भी कमेंट सेक्शन में बताइएगा, और कैसे गेस्ट्स देखना चाहते हैं उनके बारे में भी जो कमेंट सेक्शन में जरूर बताइएगा. हम क्या इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं अपने पॉडकास्ट में, वो सलाह भी आपसे चाहिए. फिर मिलता हूं अगले एपिसोड में. दिस इज संजय कथुरिया साइनिंग ऑफ. जय हिंद, जय भारत.